Welcome everyone to another live Linux kernel co-working performance optimization live stream here on our channel. Linux 6.7 is out since a couple of days. In my opinion, as per usual, it's incremental changes, right? So I can't even sit and select this and this amazing feature, but in general, of course, progress, which is amazing. The usual tens of thousands of pull requests processed. There's, for me, nothing really standing something out the most, except maybe bcache fs, which I tried previously, not the most impressed, but dozens of file systems. We get another one. Intel graphics, NVIDIA GPU, GSP firmware support, disable 32-bit support if you wanted to on 64-bit x86. Schedule improvements as per usual, kernel optimizations. In great sadness, and may it not rest in peace, but still used Intel Itanium dropped. Of course, we will previous video put our open source fund here at Exacode, where our mouth is, and supports this for another decade, as promised with our friends and family here, surrounding our T2 open source Linux distribution at Exacode. So Itanium, it is not lost. The death of Itanium is greatly over celebrated. It is strange news, right? Hewlett-Packard Enterprise shipped it until 4 years ago or whatever. Like, yeah, it is strange, yet our SGO2. Anyway, you get the point. Let's do some real stuff. Basically, also that's still so new. Otherwise, we could go over kernel newbies, but it's like here, as per usual. I mean, also I wish the Linux kernel developers and the Linux Foundation would prepare this and not like other probably volunteers, like all this detailed stuff of like, yeah, lots of stuff changed. I wish that would be Linux kernel, like operating system kernel standard of publishing a proper changelog of like, hey, we changed this. But it's like also convert like, hey, X2 performance optimizations convert to use folios, yay. Yeah, tracing, probing, networking, the usual. I mean, obviously everything, 10,000 changes all over the place, nothing particularly standing out. So let's build and test it. Of course, that fails. Let's say there's also AMD GPU. Let's probably, right. So let's actually test that here and do some performance work, because I want actually to test. So the point of this video, I want to test I want to test two new things that are upcoming performance optimization, potential performance optimizations. Like one, like AMD Zen, like maybe 4% there, maybe 2% there, maybe it's like here. Let's see how much this. For this also this takes like an hour or two, right? So don't forget to subscribe. And of course in T2, because we are real-world Linux distribution, so we need to patch like in the meantime nearly 100 things or so. That also you can Patreon and YouTube membership to fund me actually sending all our fixes upstream, because otherwise I don't really have time to fix the Linux Foundation's partially broken Linux kernel. We have here some uncommitted changes, so let's do that here of obviously quite some stuff. So let's fix file that for copyright headers, and then let's commit this in single quantities. All right, I wanted to, yeah, if we do this proper, maybe I should have actually did some work at midnight from the couch at home. So MIPS 64, let's copy here the, but it does, let's see, maybe this term, I pressed only enter that you see it, because otherwise, or was it? Anyway, yeah, the first line is not visible. Term, xterm, color, otherwise VI behaves shitty. With alacrity for whatever. It is what it is. The future is now. So 9099 QLA. So let's copy that and commit AH. So that is just what we have done over the weekend, right, on my main channel. Also best with actually, alright, AIC hotfix logging, because it's difficult. When Linux tools always breaks this stuff. Alright, that's also wrong. So that's the new VI version. What is version 9.1, of course. If you want the latest and greatest, don't forget to install latest and greatest AAA T2 Linux. So latest Vim, I think this This probably is new. I've not seen this previously. Leave console, it's the first time I see Vim highlighting patch changes. I mean, the colors are a little bit funny. I naturally would use like red and green for remove and delete. Also, blue is maybe nicer then, so maybe I would use, like, who decides these colors is whatever. So, fix by adding as needed. So, hotfix. I mean, we could actually, should we commit this together with SGI crime? Because, I mean, it's unrelated yet the same logging. So, I guess I have to say, that's also why do I otherwise, like, people on my comments, this guy is not using syntax highlighting. Like, honestly, the syntax highlighting makes it harder for me to read. Also, why? Because this contrast is obviously, this is lower contrast, right? Otherwise, it's non-bright white, so like normal white, not bright white, normal white on nearly black, on bright black or dark gray. And now it's like Lego eye cancer colors of random shit colors in your Lego model 2020. Like, yeah, I think I need to disable it. Like seriously, my eyes hurt now already. What is wrong with people syntax highlighting? Just give me white on black text. Anyway, so let's add this here too. Yeah, let's commit this together. We don't need to. SGI crime and AA. I see fixed more. Fixed. I don't see this right. Continued print K login and AI 7xxx and SGI crime. So yeah, commit early, commit often, and I should have committed this the previous day, but yeah. So apply R10K. I think it's IP28. I should SG IP28. Indigo 2, I think it was that. Indigo 2. Speculative load store workaround. IP, should we maybe without dash? Maybe without dash. IP32 R10K R12K 02 2. I commit this obviously because I don't want to lose my precious changes here, so improve SGI 02 IP32 R10K R12K stability. And then last but not least, two more, last but not least, two. Should we commit this to me? Let's go over commit here. So yeah, they used the DMA API wrong, so SGI GBE graphic backend frame buffer does not correctly map. Does use a random accidentally working physical address that is incorrect, and as a result of that, maps the wrong address to user space. It's like, cheers, previous video. If you want to use an SGI02, especially with Xorg and stuff, then don't delay, install T2 Linux today. That is all the good stuff that your Patreon, YouTube membership, Super Thanks and stuff gives you here for on this channel, live on this channel. So hotfix Linux SGI02 GBE FB took me, by the way, 8 hours to find this right. The usual, because why? Because I mean I did not expect this physical address to be wrong, and like Linux kernel developers not knowing how to use their kernel DMA APIs. I was debugging left and right from top to bottom, and everything I'm reading illegally obtained proprietary SGIO2 documentations and stuff, and like debugging kernel mappings, page table mappings and stuff, like why does this shit not work and stuff, like, and then after 8 hours, like, dude, that is a freaking wrong address. It's like, yes, I could know this from the beginning, but hey, I do not know all the address space of the SGIO2 offhand, and also the address, I mean, I was looking like after 4 hours on this address, like, is this the right address? It could be, like, yeah, I should have, like, pro tip after 4 hours. If you're suspicious, is this the right address? Maybe double, triple, and quadruple check it, but yeah, lesson learned. Anyway, we fixed it. Hotfix, Linux, SGI. Also, the frame buffer was working basically in kernel, right? It's like, if it's the wrong address, it's like it's working in kernel space, right? Why? It's like, but anyway, hotfix, Linux, SGIO2, GBE, FB, physical, address mapping, whatever. It's fine. If you want better commit messages, then shall I subscribe. Last but not least, also patch away the SGI math Ethernet silence SGIO2 Ethernet. So, in my opinion, I would need to think about this, but it's logging, as seen on previous videos here on my Molen channel, it's logging underflow. I would think that is... No, actually, wait, they have overflow and underflow. How can receive underflow? Okay, well, I was thinking they probably should have named it overflow. How can receive underflow? I mean, overflow is clear, right? You have a buffer, you get Ethernet packets in there, Ethernet frames, and then it's full. But how can it underflow? I don't... Anyway, I probably need to study SGI documentation and silence underflow, because I don't need my log full with Ethernet underflow. Anyway, so finally, so what is not applying, I can guess it already. Let's rm AMD P states. That probably doesn't apply. I mean, maybe we should double check it. x86 64. Also, like, working on the kernel, of course, first you for 10 minutes or so need to flush all the old stuff. And welcome everyone. So logs, error of 2 errors. What have I done there? Cache info, AMD L2C ID. What even was that? I don't remember. Support top exit L2C ID using that. And cache properties, I don't quite remember. Maybe this was for better, it probably was for better scheduling, I guess. Probably it's upstream now. Let's try this again. I mean, maybe we better so much to pro tip, first read the log and then delete AMD P state patch. So the point is, so we want to, let's see if it still applies. Maybe it still has a chance to apply. Let's. So the point is, first we need to evaluate which of our 100 patches of SGI and other DDR5 SPD and so on do not apply anymore, which could be multiple. Yeah, they removed IA64, I got it. Of course, don't worry. So not only we are professionals, right? We know, doing this for 25 years, bugs are everywhere, more so in Windows and Mac OS, but unfortunately also some in Linux, especially with the only constant exchange and regressions. So as professionals and supplying an increasing, growing user base, of course we only update that when 6.7.1 is out. For the first patch set of actually fixing the most vital stuff, probably soon. And then we restore also Itanium support, right? So T2 will carry a IA64 restore patch. Our community already tested that and it's maintaining that, obviously, right? And hopes are theoretically Linus Torvalds said, like, come back, like maintain it for a year and come back in a year. I don't have, so I don't get this, I don't bite that bait. I have high doubt that once removed they will restore it. However, other developers' hope is not lost, but we will see how if their promises were empty-handed or if they stand, if Linus Torvalds once stands by his words and will take this platform enablement back in 8 or whatever month. But anyway, we can either continue maintaining that as long as developers rebate that indefinitely, or if, I mean, I can't do everything personal unless you shall subscribe. I always said, if we grow this channel more successfully and have more income than some hundreds of euros a month, then I even offered them to pay some hours a month already, like and so on. And so, like, yeah, the more successful you shall subscribe and stuff, the more actually financial headroom we have to actually pay other contributing developers. And I said from the beginning, I'm looking forward to collaborations and actually doing stuff together. That would be like, imagine we have 100,000 subscribers and we can actually collaborate and make like properly edited meetups and even more behind the scene and B-roll and people working in front of the IA64. So yeah, this will be restored. And if resources, like if you don't share enough, subscribe enough, and the resources are not as plentiful eventually in the future, then we can still, like we do for SG Octane, just maintain an older patch without rebasing it every kernel, because as you see, the kernel developers, each kernel massively change APIs, right? That is why this stuff constantly breaks building. Actually should have first deleted that and already continued to build because it builds for 4 minutes. And welcome everyone. Bit off topic, but struggling to port Pico RV32 to Xilinx something. I see make video, but the files for eyes are already available. How do you struggle? Pico RV32 is really simple. Where do you struggle there? I mean, I don't use commercial toolchains for a reason. So it's a problem. I mean, Pico RV32 is one, like I struggle integrating, what I really hate is all those vendor-specific language stuff, right? So there's Spinal HDL and stuff, like, does it even need Java and stuff, which I'm already anyway not a fan of Java and stuff. So, I mean, I struggle integrating the VEX RISC-V because of all those, was it Spinal HDL and stuff? Was it VEX RISC-V? Like, yeah, I struggle with this. Why do I not like this modern, additional, not Verilog and stuff languages? Because it's just so over complex toolchain stuff, right? With Verilog, I can take other Verilog sources and just integrate it with this new modern stuff. I first need to get all this modern bloody toolchain stuff to work, right? It's like, yeah. Anyway, and then also if I want to modify or debug something, I need to study that vendor domain-specific language, DSL, right, domain-specific language. So not a fan of all this modern stuff for just modern reasons. Okay, there is some bit, so this is very, very tiny bit op stuff not applying of our, that's just one file apparently. This is our own, also shell subscribe. We also need to send this upstream. People ask, a very popular thing. Our previous video, we do real stuff here, like this SPD 55118 or so memory, SPD, DDR5 SPD temperature and EEPROM thing, right? Which obviously I need to send upstream to cache in that Hall of Fame. Find name, reject, how does, what? Ah, right, maybe this is just Itanium. Maybe this is just Itanium not applying. Yeah, of course it's just Itanium not applying. Yeah, so as predicted, it is pointless to remove Itanium. It is working. It's working stable. It's working amazingly. I was a hardware swap. I hardware swapped in Itanium. It's just not yet in Berlin. As soon as I have it in Berlin, we will make more amazing videos and actually sit here with an Itanium just to troll Linus Torvalds and make fun of all those haters. But for now, so yeah, it's as predicted, it's causing more work than, like, if they would just leave Itanium there, it would just be there. Now all the stuff needs to be back and forth edited and whatnot. It's just a waste of time for everyone. It is absolutely silly. Parity. Which even, darn, which of this was it even? Okay, we can actually, IA64, okay, that is there. I mean, I will not commit this there, and I will actually, so we need an IA64 enablement patch first. I probably need to ask Dr. Schubert for, or I do it myself from his tree. I maybe should have, excuse me, built for both. We can already check, so what do I want to test? I want to test one thing, one additionally, so at first I need to verify that this builds, okay, this was extremely lightweight, apparently even the AMD preferred core stuff, like totally lame Linux kernel development, AMD preferred core scheduling, still apparently not upstream because this patch still applies. It's like 1 year later, live here on this channel, T2, the only Linux distribution shipping with AMD preferred core scheduling for performance. Like, why do so many people and professionals and even some data centers start to switch to T2 Linux? Because it's just reliably maintained and the highest performance possible. The only distribution with AMD Zen preferred core scheduling, the only distribution with DDR5 SPD temperature, SPD memory hub temperature and EEPROM reading, the only Linux distribution with not only SJO2 and Itanium support, and also AMD, what else do I want to say? All right, X2 APIC, right? I also need to send this upstream. But the problem is, like, if I send our AMD X2 APIC enablement for further improved performance upstream, then other Linux distributions get my work for free. So, like, yeah. But if you shell subscribe, super thing and stuff, we will send it upstream. You're welcome. So, okay, this starts to build, amazing. We need to check this out. So what this is, so this is, I want to test that. That's not even, so that's going in 6.8 potentially. Maybe we'll ship it sooner because this is a vastly improved scheduling stuff, further improving the EEVDF, also EEVDF here, 0-1 fastpass for EEVDF, task selection, NUMA balancing, not the most, but deadline work towards reducing SCAD deadline, starvation, calculate the utilization. Anyway, I'm mostly for EEVDF 01 fast pass for EDF task collection, and so we need to get, we can git clone that already. That is a little bit annoying. Oh, by the way, so it's not that large. I wish, like in good old times, I could just have saved it. Now apparently get sent email of what do we have to see. This does not, is this pull scheduler changes PR track what? What I'm not really a fan of also is that I can't instantly see the patch, right? So apparently, leave in the comments below, but apparently I now need to git clone the whole thing here just to extract this patch, which sucks a bit. Linux kernel git and then also that is the first thing that I want to further test on top of this. Then we have here one small patch here that is here, that is execve fast triggering. I don't have the highest hopes. That is just add fastpass for entry on path search before allocating MM. Currently execve allocation is like, yeah, 2024, such tiny low-hanging fruit optimizations still to be found. This is of course a micro optimization, but given that our T2 embarrassingly parallel 35 build configuration, hundreds of packages, millions of compiler and assembler invocations, put an enormous load on there. I wonder if that is, like, basically I want to see if this micro optimization is even worth seeing in a all system build at all. So that would be that one here. Does this here, okay, can we, why is, yeah. Okay, that is git cloning, that is building. So that was, yeah, let's call it exact. All right, this is, what was that? Yeah, that looks, the colors are really from another. Okay, it builds longer, so the previous kernel, I just built the previous kernel in RKV. Or no, did I delete that? Anyway, do I have build x86? Let's kexec that. All right, the build time is now a little bit disturbed because we git clone that in parallel. That is, of course, not ideal. Maybe I should have done this on a secondary system, because now we can't. It's not the one. We can't benchmark that instantly. Okay, it is what it is. Then we need to benchmark that again. But I'm most interested also only if there are severe outliners, because sometimes they are. Yeah, we can just mine install it. So let's install it into the system. That hopefully should work. Install tools, packages, 6.7. And we get cloned hopefully. Here I have a MIP64 tree, but I believe is this in tempfs or maybe it's not in tempfs. Hold on, don't tell me I just deleted this. Maybe it was already deleted and only living in. Okay, thankfully I committed everything of value in my SJ02. That is why you back up, commit, like patch, diff, commit early. I had the R10K fix. Yeah, I mean now the data is gone anyway. But I had everything saved out of it. In any case, now I know what was broken and if I need to restore anything. Nothing like having the changes in your head anyway. So let's kexec that. Kexec 6.7, I believe that. So okay, then with 0 for 0 reasons. I need to think, was it system? I don't remember if the system was, because it's a little bit older install. 23.9 was the server. Where was that? I think it's not yet kexec enabled. Or is it, was it a system? Where was that even? I remember I had to fix something in this 5enit for kexec to work. Imported sys5, so that was a long time ago already. So I guess this system should be. Has it -k for kexec? Do kexec? Okay, reboot K. Reboot K. Okay, this is then this should work. Shutdown reboot. So we we registered kexec. So because previously on this channel I did this, I forced this with with kexec force or whatever. Okay, kexec-e. I don't even have currently video out on this server. Yeah, I don't have any visual confirmation whether that freaking worked here. Although maybe I should plug it in. But I believe on this AMD GPU stuff, I believe graphic did not come up because that would be too advanced. Now I have HDMI. But I mean, I should have HDMI. Okay, no video on other outputs. But that might be because the HDMI cable follow. Ah, cool. What do we have here? O2. Pro tip, fasten your DVI cable screws. Then your DVI cable doesn't fall out. Why were DVI cables not built reversible? Do you know what shit it always is to get a DVI cable into your display? Yeah, it had to be reversed, of course. Let's maybe... So also the reason I don't usually screw in this retaining screws is because I plug out and in so much different stuff. Okay, kexec did not work. That's unfortunate because I'm in a boot chooser. That's not how I like to reboot. So that might be, but why did kexec not work? I mean, it could also always be that something crashed. That is always a possibility. That is, of course, a problem if you don't see. Okay, so no booted, but also probably didn't boot into the right kernel now. Yeah, that might be why I usually. But yeah, testing your own stuff, then you fix your own bugs. Why? Probably I pulled the cable right. I usually try to have it somewhat centered, but I just pulled here with a microphone cable. So. So yeah, this is of course not 670T2. Oh wait, no such file directory. Wait, maybe I should have actually freaking... Maybe I should have read the 670. Why do we not have an... What have we done here? Why is there no init RD? Apparently I broke something. Like, yeah, pro tip, read your own. But yeah, I was already wondering why I probably had set something for testing. So let's try that again. So that worked. Not sure why do I have this debugging enabled there. For no good reason, whatever I tested there previously. Let's see if it works better this time. Like, yeah, pro tip, if you advantage for those who can actually read. Let's see. So irony is on, actually no, we have video. Okay, now video works. So on earlier, for some... So no idea why. So now I have video, and this should probably be Okay, exactly. Yeah. So this time we have video, not sure. So maybe they fixed something, because I remember the last time I did this, usually I don't watch video because I don't usually need video often, but maybe something is really fixed for AMD GPU. Do I have this in the SF? Maybe not, for stupid reasons. So then let's tmux. That. So now we need to, so we've booted that with all our patches, which absolutely crazy, right? We did so much cool stuff and nobody else does it. All the patches still apply except the Itanium stuff and one AMD cache ID thing. So let's see. Okay, now we have completely garbage in the history. I've rebooted with all my stuff not exited, so nothing saved as history. XF36, 64. So we want to rebuild that for performance evaluation, basically. So it was 4 minutes something previously. That is pretty accurate, actually. We will have that recorded. Maybe we actually deinstall it first, just so that, because we have only 2 kernels in there and I don't want unnecessarily, it's like, yeah, because I don't want 6610 in there as well. So let's see the comments. Memory controller, VRAM is the main issue for me. So this code is super simple. Really surprises me there with the Pico RB32. This core is so simple. It should, like, you could also remove that. Could you remove? I mean, basically, it's so simple. It should. I mean, I interfaced it multiple times to other different. I even did my own SDRAM controller, and I did say, like, yeah, but which toolchain do you use, by the way? Damian says, gonna try T2, P3. So yeah, P3 you don't need to try. The mighty kernel gods around Linus Torvalds broke P3 again. I still, basically I'm also busy, right? It makes no sense. I mean, I wish, like, yes, I know I need to produce better AAA outstanding pre-edited videos. But the thing is, it's extra work, right? I mean, I want to do it, I wish I could do it, but I simply have no time, right? Because between the live streams, not only do I need to care for my family, play with my child, I also need to work and earn money in between. And that is like when you say, why don't you finance your open source stuff, like doing some other videos, like, yeah, but then I'm a videographer, vlogger or videographer, whatever. Like, if I want to, like, I have an SGO2 here, I have other cool stuff there, but it takes even more time from my code time away of sitting here, cleaning some movie area, film location up, like setting the SGI in O2 and Spotlight and stuff, and researching for hours all the details to write a proper script and stuff. Like yeah, that's an afternoon, right? It's an afternoon. I don't have time to do this fun stuff. Actually, you know what? We could have been more smarter. We could have added this patch already, because now we basically waste 4 minutes. We could have added this exec VE patch there already. Which is like, that's live. So good, so that let's extract the patch of this other Linux kernel. the tip here. So what did they say? Pull here. So basically we need a patch for merge tip master TD. Which was it even? Scat core. Detached head, switch to scat core. Merge urgent, picking up pending, git log. So they say head merge branch, pick up pending. So that is from how can short log be so slow? Also little GPUs, big CPUs. Where is even head merge branch? Okay, that build for, so okay, the time so much to bare 6.7 performance not really different. It's a little bit apples and oranges, but relatively close. I wish also KXX. The problem is, as we didn't properly KXX, the bias could potentially posted the DDR5 stuff slightly different. That is always, for benchmarking purposes, actually really prefer KXX for more reliable performance. I hope I have pump 3937. So much to water loop liquid cooling Python stuff. Like, make sure that actually you benchmark with your liquid cooling loop running properly. Yeah. Modern times. Theoretically, this needs to be proper in kernel driver, theoretically, right? But yeah, some Python stuff is all we got for that today. All right, darn, this was clever. I just wiped that. So do we have that in, so I thought we accumulate that, but then I deleted that. So, but the time is not very much off. I think it's pretty, also like so much stuff that was not very. So yeah, it probably should have been that one. But the other time, so the performance is not worse, maybe a tiny bit better. The reason we can't one-to-one compare that is also because I git cloned that, right? So that was quite some excessive load for git cloning in parallel of building. Distorts the build time slightly. Let's just manually edit there for comparison. So yeah, maybe a tiny little bit faster. Now let's do the other stuff. Let's first move this X patch here to exec. How did they call that? What was even their patch name? Was it inline? Was it fast pass? Yeah, I should have applied this, but it is what it is. Yeah. Fast pass exec. Let's hope that applies and builds. And then the scheduler. Actually, here's CPPC sets the frequency used. It saves the frequency. Is that decent? Also CPPC, driver register, or artificial energy model in such case. Here is merge for Linus Torvalds. Linus Torvalds. Torvalds merge tag into pickup fixes. Here's a merge. So here's get topology. So how was the syntax? Git diff. I hate the syntax. So basically, I mean, I could just git diff to that. Wait, was this the first? That was the first revision, right? And this is merge into pickup. Merge 6.7 into skid core to pickup fixes. That is a merge. Okay, I guess that should be it. So we need this but reverse. So let's see, did they have a git stat in there just to double check? 32 files. Wait, why is this 247 files? Okay, that was not correct. What is the bloody git syntax? Was some which special character was it? Git can simply post to commit IDs. To commit IDs. Was it? Okay. Somehow we do this wrong. Basically to the first merge on it. Merge here, merge branch. Oh wait, this is skid core. There's probably some super easy git thing to do that, but I'm not in the Linux kernel developer workflow here. Did I use this one? D2? Why does this not work? Probably I should check the comments for people who are more clever than I. Probably need to learn how to work in this Git workflow for future. Somehow this is resulting in really strange Git diffs. Okay, so this also built, cool. Then let's install this again into the running system. Actually, slightly wonder what was the init RD. Maybe we just not really sure why there currently is no init RD. Probably need to debug that next. Yeah, let me quickly read the freaking Git manual how to, there must be some super easy thing to merge that. I'm back in a minute after reading some Git nonsense. But isn't it nicely usable? Just freaking works, TM. If you, after you studied and memorized the 200 pages of Git, on this test server I don't have this on the FS tab, that's slightly inconvenient. So now we should be running with this, let's double check that with this kexecode pass thing. Tell me how to fix this fast. Fast path, pass patch. Yeah. Fast path. Let's rebuild the Linux kernel again to see if that performance is measurable in rebuilding the kernel, which is some 10,000 exec invocations. Not really sure if that will be visible, but let's see. Also, that was also wrong. Yeah, grub to update stuff, you also have to finish. So, regarding the Git, maybe it is as simple as diffing it differently. Let's Linux kernel Git. Let's Git log origin master. Merge. Why is here? Let's get core, right? Is this even, why is here SG merge tip x86 SGX? Why is this stuff in here? All I wanted was was it previously not? No, it should have been. Ah, maybe that is not. Maybe we need that. What the heck? Okay, maybe more to reading freaking. Yeah, I don't. Git workflow is simply, I don't know, out of another world. 4 seconds here, 4 seconds there. Of course, we theoretically, it's kind of shorter in the measuring error of margin, maybe potentially. But yeah, as I said, 4 seconds here, 10 seconds there. We already dramatically reduced build time and massive, embarrassingly parallel build time over the years with EEVDF scheduler and other things. So previously 10% there, 4% there. It absolutely added up, right? I believe the Linux kernel, just the EEVDF scheduler, improved my Firefox compile time by 2 minutes or something as crazy as that. Anyway, which is what I really want to try. So scheduler changes. Also, that is what professional kernel developers do, right? They review other people's stuff. I mean, theoretically, we should even read over those changes and guru meditate them. But here, new upcoming kernels are only stable if you actually test the stuff, right? If nobody would review and test the stuff, then of course less quality. So yeah, Git. I always found Git, like since introduction, and Git came a long way since Linus Torvalds first wrote his first 0.1 Git release thing that could barely do anything, to today. But why do we not use Git? Because my brain never, like, you see me doing all this amazing stuff, but my brain totally cannot, like, I don't have brain capacity left to study, change my mind, the overcomplicated mess, the overcomplex and overcomplicated mess that is Git. But yeah, change my mind. let's try other, let's check out this Git Linus Torvalds mainline and Git fetch that or something. Let's more Git. Okay, fine. I could resize it further. That's unfortunate. Will this recover? Where was I even? Or what? This aborted? Thank you very much. Not leaving partial data apparently. I mean, the irony is, do I even? 1 minute late. No, the stream didn't freshen stuff. I just stopped it because it's pointless to save. You don't need to watch me struggling with Git, and it's waste of your time and also people who later watch that. Just run off disk space. So this is already 600 megabyte, freaking RAID 0 to NVMe. But I didn't allocate all space for some stupid reason, probably like testing. So unfortunately I need to git clone that again because I run out of disk space. Let's hope that is enough. Do we have other? Could also do something. I could delete HDC here, I believe. HDA is my usual go-to test thing, and HDB for RAID or other Spark stuff. Yeah, people there, all the cool kids use it. Yeah, I'm aware. Although I said it before, I think all the normal companies, for most normal companies, Git is overkill. But it's like, yeah, I mean, like, even like companies who do not work distributed, like all the Porsche, Volkswagen, Siemens and whatnot employees sitting there in one building. I mean, sure, you can get used to everything, but yeah, we could, as this runs a second, we could, while this runs, do some other stuff. We also have our, okay, this was a temp fs, very clever. Okay, then we can also delete all this stuff here. lib64 xorg server. I still have some other stuff to improve, like professionals always have. Also, it should have actually. This builds too fast now. Okay, it's probably fine. Let's see. Should have built it verbose to see if. Ah, shit, this was also not good. Verbose to see when I need to cancel that. Also, coffee. Cancel it like now. Could also run this no clear source thing. All right, this is we need that one here. And so the other day when all right, this is a new Vim version. Thank you very much. Why does this always need to? I tried 3 different messages. Okay, let's see if that works. Them RC, right? Okay, that works. Because we're in a sandbox and Vim cannot write out of the sandbox. So, okay, now we also have, so let's continue that in a second. Let's try, so now we have Linus Torvalds Linux Git tree. Let's try to fetch that the way like a maintainer would do. Git fetch that. Unpacking objects, tag from okay, that what did this do? Remote enumerating objects, 1 done, counting objects, 1 done, total git, so tags, get core, fetch head. So should this not 214 git diff? How does it work? Your branch is up to date with origin master. Merge C group. Merge text get. Oh wait, was it already? Oh wait, this was already pulled from Linux towards, huh? Reviewing this is really a pain. I guess this was just, I mean, or probably it must have been just pulled, wasn't it? What a fail. This was already merged tech. Perf core. Okay, can we then diff it from, was it this? Syntax. 46 files changed. 32 files changed. 1700. Why is this testing? C groups. Some of this all behaves not as I was. Why is this C group stuff in there? Merge tag. What did I do? I did this here, didn't I? BF. Why does this not? I hate Git. Okay, now I YOLO'd at least for some, like, probably there's some origin tag, whatever much, but diffing these two revisions here, it's commits, not revisions, commits, it's like whatever. So, freaking, let's finally test it. So, so we wanted to do code here. Okay, fine. So let's test the scheduler, fastpass, and O1 changes after we were YOLO'd some Git shit together. So, also like previous times, you would have just saved the bloody patches, and now you spend 5 or 10 minutes to extract this from Git. Amazing. Future is no. Sched, what do we call that? Sched fastpass, sched latest sched core. Latest sched core patch. Let's see if it applies. And here I wanted to further, so the SGIO2 quirk, although maybe we should further fix it in kernel, but that is for another day. For now I want XOR work more often on SCSI things. Okay, so far it builds, amazing. So, interesting that it applies after merge into sched core pickup pending 6.7 fixes. Apparently there are those sched urgent fixes, right? We're probably waiting for 4.1. Anyway, so compare or equal, this was here. And so what I wanted to do here is the other day I said we can't lock it here because we don't have the pointer. However, let's just use that pointer because the other day I thought, because we need to properly, so this doesn't scale, this sucks here, this fprintf that behaves shitty. This does not behave nicely and conveniently. I'm logging this to the right log file. So the other day I said, like, yeah, we don't have the right screen pointer here, but let's just put it in there. Let's change the calling convention. The reason I didn't think about this 2 days ago is because I somehow thought that it's public API, but this is static, not exported here, I hope. So other parts should not use it. So we can just kernel internally change that here. So where is the log of driver message, screen index, maybe warning. Do they have here warning somewhere? X warning, yeah, X warning. Driver message both maybe. Why is YouTube warning about my bitrate? Like maybe that one here. And so P screen, let's copy and paste that together for all this good stuff here. So sorry, equal. And so I use the time, if you're wondering if I have a concentration problems, I just do the next thing while my system is 4 minutes. Like, let's see if we can do this in 4.5 minutes. So let's add the screen pointer here. And then let's use that one here. So which way was driver message? What else do we have here? I mean, do they have, oh, maybe the warnings needs this. So this arrow, it's not an arrow, so here's driver message info. Let's just use driver message info. So that would be driver message info, right? And then that should be all we need here to log that, except maybe theoretically prefixed with some nice maybe at least that, and it's pointless to add user function name is equal, it's like it's getting a bit long. And then we can close this topic for, or not close, at least wait some share, likes and subscribes and so on to further work on the SGIO2 driver. And potentially, so it's not only for the SGIO2, right? There could be other drivers that modify that, and then also X. I rather have my X working than erroring out without telling me what it didn't like about the modified Fraunhofer mode structure here. So diff, normally I don't do this manually, but let's manually from, so, oh no, this is not, not vanilla, we need ORIC exceptionally. And then move that to Xorg server. Where do I have not equal FB? So something of that sort. Linux kernel build in reproducible 428. So let's install it again and see what performance differences we get for this improved scheduler stuff, which I'm the most interested in. So that's there, we need, unfortunately, okay, init ID for some reason, need to debug that next. Anyway, so yeah, that is how you can spend your day working with open source stuff. Diamond writes, SSDs change hardware, or really all SSDs on old hardware really change there a lot. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's certainly true. But if you have CPU-bound stuff, like, it won't speed up your SGA02 compilation much. So 670. So that should come back soon, and then let's do that one final time and see what further improvements we get. Okay, no video signal. Oh, comes back with video. Interesting. I'm pretty sure once upon a time that didn't work, so something probably changed. So, problem solved. It's a little bit repetitive, always mounting. I mean, I don't reboot that often, but which probably why I didn't add that yet. So, let's see what improved performance will we get. Bets taken. How much will that improve? That will take 4 minutes. All right, we could actually... I wanted to stop the stream for a second, but we can also commit this Xorg server thing. Theoretically, we could also do I have a to-do for... Maybe I have, because Mach 64 I believe it was Mach 64. Which hardware was it? Was it the Sun Ultra? Some hardware recently, everything was working amazingly, and then I said we could start an Xorg server, and then it crashed. What Mach 64 hardware was that? Was it the Sun? I don't even remember. It was a month ago. And I even checked the driver and there were no changes. Is Sun Ultra 5 Mach 64? That's some Rage, right? Rage Pro? Rage, is that Mach or is that... Probably it is, huh? Ah, 2010 not working. Don't tell me it's broken since then. Take power up here. Which generation is that? Mach or not? Do they not write that here? Architecture Rich 3, thank you very much. Ah, Mach 64, yeah. Must have been. No, I believe it wasn't the Ultra 5. It was a cheap entry-level card. It was on a Super Socket 7 over hardware modded, cache unlocked AMD K6 600, AMD K6 Plus, 2 Plus, upgraded to 3 Plus, 600 with the cheapest e-waste card in there. That is what it was. That crashed, I believe. I don't have any Mach chaos in my system, yeah, whatever. So yeah, that was broken. Yeah, I should, so probably that could potentially affect many old drivers, so either, or yeah, maybe they just don't set some pointer, or like, yeah, whatever is, the only constant is change and regressions, obviously. So rebooted with the, did we, yeah, we probably should have checked that this really applies. x86 64, not that we benchmark something where the patch didn't apply. Yeah, SCAD, latest SCAD, yeah, that stuff applies. Even with, it's absolutely crazy that, of course they merged 10,000 things, but AMD preferred core scheduling. Still not in other stuff, but yeah. So that's building. That is not equal. I'm not a fan of this highlighting, I have to say. No, not NeoVim. I guess whatever. I need higher contrast. I have no idea what the people are thinking. When I run EEVDF, get a pretty bad syntax highlighting, unreadable. Yeah, 2014, 9 years ago. Or whenever, was it 2014? Still awful, yeah. How can people ship that in production? It's a color scheme, modify diff, add syntax, bottom off, you can modify Vim after color scheme, so, yeah. I really get eye cancer here. Personally, I haven't found any colors I've liked for EEVDF. That's my life. Other people agree. Anyway. Hey, it built. Okay, that's not faster, apparently. So much to new scheduler changes. I mean, we could rebuild it a second time. Maybe with hot caches. Maybe let's rebuild it a second time with hot caches. It shouldn't change much. So new scheduler is slower. Go figure. So much to on new sites. Yay, more scheduler improvements. Except, I mean, wouldn't be the first time. But yeah, this is why also Linus Torvalds just much. I mean, of course, Linus Torvalds not personally testing all the things. He might build test it to catch but maybe not from Ingo Molnar of all people. But maybe he should build test each major change set just to double check a little bit. But this is why stuff should be more reviewed, right? If people come up like, hey, I improved some stuff, like, don't trust no one, right? Always review. So looks like for my benchmark here, that is on a first try, two whopping seconds slower. So much to we just gain some speed and we just... Anyway, theoretically, I mean, what do we do now, right? I mean, the best thing would be to report back like, hey, I tried that and like, hey, 2 seconds slower. VK exact, so DDR4. I mean, the liquid loop could be warm, but we spent quite some time between reboots, so it should have cooled back down quite significantly, so that should not be warm liquid loop. But yeah, of course, I said it before, years ago, I say it again, for real accurate benchmarking, such kind of things, you would need to run with a fixed clock and not dynamic boosting. However, of course, that's also not that simple because scheduler changes touch dynamic scheduling capacity computation, right? So much to, for ideal benchmarking, run with a fixed clock, except if you actually change your dynamic boosting stuff, then obviously you need to benchmark with dynamic boosting. I mean, the best thing would then be basically to have a total industrial setup, like not in a normal ATX case, but your liquid cooling loop on some industrial appliance to have some very, not like some small consumer liquid loop, but some industrial chiller to keep your liquid loop at precisely 20 degrees C or something, or like something of that sort. I mean, not extreme overclocking, just like some real fancy industrial grade chiller thing, to make sure no matter how much 200 watt TDP or over 200 watt TDP you put in there from your Ryzen 7950X, that you don't saturate your cooling loop. Although I would say it's a 360 red, so anyway, so yeah, Xbox server quite as equal modes. Oh, come, where is it? Not equal. Do I have this already open? Alright, I wanted to disable. Can we disable? I'm pretty sure I didn't have. I mean, did we have this previously? How to disable syntax highlighting in EEVDF. When X developer at the block Y, vimdiff allows you to open two files. I mean, it's not even vimdiff. It's basically, yeah. I would want. Can you syntax off for? If diff, then wait. I could pick different color schemes, but there's no guarantee different portex will be hidden. Open your vimrc and add those lines. Okay, let's see. Wait, what? Right. Wait. No, that didn't work. vimrc and add those lines. If diff, or maybe this is in vimdiff. I don't want. I want for the file type. I mean, as a quick fix, totally turning it off could. Yeah. At least I can read it. That's a plus, huh? Although probably people already scream at me. So what's the build time? It's even slower. Go figure. So much to new scheduler stuff. That's actually, I hope it is 2 seconds faster, not like 2 seconds. So much, I wasted 10 minutes. I mean, okay, I didn't waste 10 minutes. I at 10 minutes learned at least to operate Git a little bit more. I mean, theoretically, we would need to check that. So much to, the next upcoming kernel will be more amazing, except the scheduler changes are slow. It's like, yeah, don't believe each news site, right? Like, don't trust a news site which doesn't test performance themselves. Like if you have Epic for dropping Ryzen, it doesn't take you that long to test the changes. So that's kernel Linux. Let's move get latest get disabled. Let's build it again. Let's rebuild again. If I would have saved that, I wouldn't need to rebuild it now, but some Linux FBA drivers like SGI02. Does it make sense to write it like this? SGI02? 32. I think I like this most. GBE. Graphic backend, right. Change, update the mode structure. Actually constrain the values don't log. Don't error out for partial changes and log. Inform what not changed and don't error out for unimportant details. We were not even, we were not even done. Did we reboot already? I forgot to update the callers. Okay, we can build it in parallel because currently we're not benchmarking. We only rebuild without the scheduler changes that make our kernel slow. Also need coffee and lunch. So yeah, maybe go to Patreon or buy me a coffee. Tokens of appreciation with super chat and super thanks welcome. Because now theoretically I would have a report to write. So that was equal. And no viewer catched that I didn't even update the callers to pass the screen pointer, right? So pscreen screen index. So equal here. Let's hope we everywhere have a pscreen. Believe it was that one, right? Was it only one caller? No, it's equal. Actually, we could add that if we knew the not equal FP mode, so that already adds that. Here. And done. We reuse this once more. There, EEVDF modes not equal. Virtual rest not equal. Sync mode not equal. In theory, we could also call it V mode. It's only V mode. Bits per pixel length, RGB length not equal. Sync not equal. I intentionally commented this stuff out because, yeah, actually, okay, we could do this in one line, but we have multiple lines of running anyway, so for common style. So we built here already. Let's see if we can reproduce that. 4x86. I hope I run the 1330. I mean, we installed it. Did we save? Do we still save the patches to user share? Oh, no, we don't. I hope I had installed the right kernel as I have an old Okay, so that also built. Let's probably commit that already. The name's the same. The name might suck, but maybe hotfix. What is the function name even? I didn't. The set mode, do we still have it here in? So rename to hotfix, maybe that. What else do we have there? DRM bus ID. We still have that patch. Did they not apply that upstream? This was, I believe, crashing something. I believe this was crashing. Don't tell me nobody. Oh no, this is in. Oh, maybe this is a reverse change here. Okay, need to review that. Hotfix DRM build, incomplete DRM bus ID hotfix. Yeah, in the future, actually, I include better error messages. But 6, 7. Yeah, nothing like testing. The only substitute for testing is more testing. I mean, it is always possible that they benchmarked some combination where this improved performance, but unfortunately, it doesn't improve performance for me. I'm shocked that this exec hot path improves performance for me more than. Isn't kexec amazing? Let's see if this is reproducible. Maybe previously I only had, you know what, maybe it's a user error of, but yeah, let's build this already. Oh, not user error. Maybe previously I usually only used xterm, not xterm color. Maybe that is how this previously prevented that Vim. Alright, they use some stupid, what do they use? Semicolon there. They use some really stupid. What do they use? Cool. Yeah, why do it still not away when you can use some? Right, quotes. Like, yeah, why use something intuitive when you? It's absolutely hilarious. Let's see how it looks now. If we just for testing purposes see how this looks. Oh, it's not colored. Yay. But But this is funny that other stuff is colored, right? Why is this colored? I mean, okay, I don't ask questions. I mean, at least I can read the bloody diff. Good, so, I mean, we clobbered the cache a little bit with subversion status, so that were some 10,000 or 20,000 file access. Shouldn't influence the benchmark the most, but it's of course not super ideal. But that's basically it. We did what we wanted to do. We benchmarked some stuff and found surprising performance marginalities. Not the first time. Yeah, don't forget to membership, Patreon, buy me coffee to motivate me to debug what's up with old drivers like the ATI Mach 64 driver. Still building. By the way, the system, despite being overclocked and undervolted and stuff, is totally stable, especially with AMD errata. Previously found speculation, marginality, workaround. Okay, that is even slower. So much to why is this? Okay, so maybe the scheduler improves 2 seconds. Just that is also otherwise. I mean, I did run subversion status, which I mean it's. Yeah. Oops. Oh shit. Nothing like pressing. Okay, let's redo that. That's obviously. That's why you double and triple check. I mean, okay, so the long story short is it doesn't influence performance in significant ways. I was hoping for more. It's like, yeah, a second there, a second, so 20. So this was with all patches, right? So, which was it? So that was actually with a very old kernel, like from months ago. So this was baseline. This was with the path. That was with the flightest scheduler, and that was with that reverted. So and that's also why I mean, yeah, I'm probably measuring. I mean, I was typing a little bit, but what is the takeaway here? The takeaway is, I mean, yeah, it's not doing wonders. It's maybe a second. What would be an improvement is if the AMD preferred core stuff does not, okay, we load all cores here right now anyway. But otherwise, the AMD preferred core stuff did not reliably load the preferred cores always over, like they would not over like SMT clusters. What was the thing? Yeah, there was somewhat no, or I forgot the details. Either it was in general, like yeah, maybe with a frequency scaling capacity and so on, it would, right, it would not, it would also not, like, so yeah, there are probably multiple preferred cores marginalities. In general, also Intel, it's generic Linux scheduler. I believe it does not always correctly, especially with frequency capacity and whatnot, picks the best score also over like cluster, like L3 or L2 or L3 cache or whatever, like core complexes groups, and it also probably usually doesn't reschedule it. So if you have all cores loaded and then some tasks finish like some CC compiler, GCC and Clang, and you have only 1 or 2 tasks left, like some final LTO linking or so, I believe usually the Linux kernel does not reschedule it, right? So it might be on some random core and it's not the best core. So probably the Linux kernel could benefit if some rescheduling to better cores would eventually implement it. Historically, this was not an issue because historically all cores were created equal. So it was not an issue to reschedule. Also, theoretically, you could, like even then, there were things, maybe even the Windows scheduler does it at times. I don't remember all the details of each particular implementation. But there are also theories of like round robin scheduling them, like 2 seconds there, 2 seconds there, of warming them all equal, for example, which probably is not even particularly the most helpful. And like, yeah, that probably might have been helpful previously, but now with when all cores could boost equally, but now some cores could boost better. So yeah, I even mailed AMD and said like it's not yet amazing, and the employee there from AMD replied, yes, we are aware. There are still further general skill improvements to be done, but neither is the AMD preferred core stuff upstream, nor have I seen any other further work except this one here, and that, yeah, maybe it improved from the second, but that's also the thing, benchmarking stuff that only improves like embarrassingly parallel load, and at the end of the day it's plus minus a second, and yeah. But maybe this is, yeah, also review the code, right? Making code review easy with, like, if now we extracted it here, so maybe we even move this latest scheduler, maybe we re-enable it and run with it already for some test. All right, this is, I know this is now the bloody patch highlighting. Why do we have this stuff again? Why does this highlight this now? Okay, I'm not a fan of that. These are too, like, I agree with all the others, like it is pointless, it's too freaking crazy. Colors. So yeah, 30, that is reproducible 30 right now. So yeah, then let's rebuild it again with this patch. Nothing like doing this. Yeah, but yeah, this is also computer science, or otherwise normal kernel development, or other, like basically any application development, even library or image processing. Like you usually do stuff like, yeah, what I say, double check, right? What's not tested is broken. And the only substitute for testing is more testing. And that's like, you test it, you believe like, nah, it's already faster, and then you revert, it's like, strange, now it's 1 second faster, slow anyway. So I don't have an explanation for that. except file system fill, like general heat accumulation, like thermal, like stuff being 5 degrees warmer now or whatnot. That is of course, but yeah, that's why we double check that. Let's do that. Maybe it's in a second or two. So what do they do here? Previous task stop. I mean, it would be better to review all of those in single quantities. By the way, this was Control G. What do we have here? Some migration task on RQ just for deadline. Just to see if something particularly interrupt should be re-enabled from the point on CPU sleeping. Okay, let's consider. That's basically it for today. I hope you enjoyed to learn something. Don't forget to Patreon, buy me a coffee, or just YouTube membership or super thanks to motivate me to work even more, report stuff upstream, and ATI Mach and all the other 1,000 entries on my to-do. As always, looking forward to your comments. What you would do different, Git tricks, Vim, diff, syntax highlighting, colors, and other configuration quirks. I wish you a good day or night, and to see you soon for all the next fun stuff to come. Old stuff, better as like complex modern copy and write file system changes and thermal saturating thermal capacity of cooling loops and stuff. So x86. So this is rebooted and rebuilt with that. And we are, again, 2 seconds, you see that. I mean, a second, not even worth to talk too much, but 1 second there, 2 seconds there, over a year. Stuff is half a minute faster, so historic context of that. So yeah, that is basically as good as it was. So yeah, reference path. So yeah, it is maybe 2 seconds faster, it is whatever. Thermal and whatnot. So yeah, theoretically another interesting thing. So I tested this GCC. Usually I use LVM Clang. I had this manually tweaked in the beginning before I live streamed. So that is KCC. So normally you don't manually fiddle around. I changed it because LTO optimizing the kernel takes twice as long, nearly twice as long, 7 minutes. So that would be the next test. How much? Like basically, how long does Clang LTO take, and how long does it take to build the latest Firefox? So let's do that next. Maybe not live on this channel. We will see. Probably not. I mean, I paused the live stream in any case. I mean, yeah, I could leave it build for 20 minutes and then give a final update. So tools. What did I? All right, we need to tools cross and ln Clang back to KCC. I had this previously manually. So of course you don't mess with this manually. I just had done so before the live stream. So that looks good. So that would be the final test here. Which previously, I don't have a time now, but it was around 7 minutes something. It's basically more like stability testing, and then also Firefox, which we could. There probably is a minor Firefox update. There usually is. I also need to train our data AI more to be able to find those. 122 is probably not yet out, and yeah, I believe we probably a little bit win-win of tiny little update there. Of course, this influences it's not much load, but like basically so much background load what we just gained in the scheduler. It's of course not a totally fair benchmark, but I don't have a Clang reference time for that particular built-in kernel anyway. Changes, download, no, just actually I wanted probably that one. Wanted to see. Usually the .1 stuff is only Windows and Mac. Can we also load this? Internet. It's not the fastest. I wanted the release notes. Vodafone's failing doxes. Again, wait, I don't even have a changelog for... Or is .1 so new that we're still preparing notes for this release? We will post them. So yeah, another case of we just found an update when it came out. Do I have this in the history? What is even the date of that? Oh, they don't have dates here for... Oh no, they have dates here. January 9th. That is now, so they just recently placed it there. So yeah, we could diff it manually, but we could also... Anyway, probably go read the release announcement there for latest and greatest security, or maybe only functional Windows. Usually it is .1 is usually fixed video pop-up captions, Disney Plus, whatever, modern DRM or Windows overlay tooltip, the usual. Nah, haven't seen it, don't use Mac and Windows and stuff. Anyway, maybe I leave the live stream open with the video feed paused for a final finding on how long Firefox builds. Regression testing, we have some exotic exec patch in there and the latest scheduler stuff. So testing, more testing, test load, stability. See you later. So some 346 or so minutes later, we have some more build. In the meantime, why did it take 300 and some minutes? Because turns out I actually didn't have a full build here, so I had to build all of TTK 200 package builds later and some lunch and going out and some fresh air and stuff. So it turns out Firefox, of course I don't have an apple to apples comparison. Because it is also a different Firefox version and I don't have... But anyway, we are in the 10-minute ballpark region here. So that is exactly what we expected. I committed the Firefox update already in the meantime. So given that probably Firefox builds a little bit longer because since I last measured, because hundreds, thousands of changes, this is at least not like... Because sometimes we had already a 2000% better performance regression previously. So just the usual testing. That everything builds and scales as it should be, and some percent faster with the path execution and scheduler improvements. So yeah, that is no major regressions. That is amazing, at least here on this side. And I built the Linux kernel, I believe, earlier already with Clang. So 7 minutes, just as I said, 7 minutes. So yeah, that is whopping freaking long. But I benchmarked this. It was some 2 or 3 or whatever percent faster. Actually, theoretically, we could actually install it. Like, should we do one more extra round installing that Clang build kernel now? And so that is fully built. So yeah, we could actually install it and reboot again and build it again and hopefully see, actually, yeah, determine actually how much more precisely that is faster. Actually, you know what, we waited 300 some minutes. We can do one more reboot. Anyway, I prefer these days for this. I mean, in the long term, because I usually don't reinstall this build VM server too often, 6, 7. Also, the reason I didn't have an initRD was because this build was incomplete, right? There simply was no MK initRD. That is why. So that should be installed on the system and kexec 6, 7. But yeah, testing, more testing. And, oops, that was wrong. The only substitute for testing is more testing, and that's what we did then. At least also, yeah, the new kernel survives then a nearly complete T2 rebuild, or how the BSD people call it, make world or something. Questions there previously, does our distribution, that is T2 Linux, support graphic VM stuff? Yes, of course, right, I'm running that, and yes, I googled this picture, obviously. Of course, we have KDE and GNOME. 4 years ago, we had marathon updates of updating like 6 and 7 hours, updating hundreds of packages. And over the years, obviously, KDE is, and XFCE and Mate and GNU Step, and I probably did, I commented that, yes, of course. And so yeah, we have that. Also, let's not waste time. Let's start the rebuild because it will take 7 minutes. Tmux, do we have that here? And one, not Hyperland, but Linux. So that is benchmarking Clang versus Clang. Yeah, let's double check that actually that doesn't show that, does it? No, but that one should show LLD. Yeah, so Clang LLD. What do I say? Win-win of. Probably should rather, instead of starting manually checking 1706. I'm surprised they don't have a new release, but I mean, yeah, maybe after 6 rounds of initial bug fixing, they probably bug fixed all the major stuff. And so yeah, unfortunately it doesn't show LTO, but given that there is LLD, I mean, yeah, we actually could check the config. The config does show that. We're building there. Okay, config here, right? LTO, yeah, Arch has LTO Clang thin. Yeah, that is what I usually used. No, maybe that's the only thing that's available. That's LTO. That's what I previously used and found some tiny little performance improvements. Yeah, I guess we can also live stream another 7 minutes. Theoretically, you know what? Maybe I should actually Photoshop by Inkscape my own, instead of 300 and some minutes, actually some 7 minutes later. So yeah, let that rebuild. Also, like this time is obviously off. That is of course a design decision, as that is extremely special. I don't see any reason why we should invest any time making this more accurate, because the thing is that is relative to bin utils with the same compiler, and given that like it's an extreme custom configuration of just this package with Clang LTOs, so that is why the time doubles here, right? So otherwise with GCC this time would be spot on, but with another compiler and LTO obviously totally off. And also actually I plan to benchmark, because currently I find it not so amazing that the performance of the GCC, like the build time, work clock time of GCC regresses some 10% of, yes, more optimizing and more features and so on, but nonetheless each major release plus minus, usually not minus, usually plus 10% longer build. I will benchmark, like if I have some hour sometime soon, some weekend or rainy, snowy day, I'll actually systematically benchmark automatically, like I did 15 years ago for the Linux magazine, benchmark actually how much smaller, how much slower GCC really became. Yeah, see you in 5 minutes for the final Clang LTO Linux kernel. Before 734, like if it's like that, we don't. I mean, that is crazy, right? I mean, sure, GCC, what? I mean, the last time I tried was probably GCC. I mean, then I wonder if we should invest, like there's so much to do, right? And also, like, do not always, and like what was 2% faster last year is not 2% faster this year, right? I mean, okay, this was cold cache. I mean, could rebuild it again. I didn't run anything in parallel, like entirely not. Like, yeah, so much to more, and each time you that's why I'm already rebooting with kexec. I already did reboot with kexec, right? Would, by the way, be cool if there would be a mark in the bootlog that it was kexec. But yeah, that's already why I'm using kexec to mitigate any BIOS pulse, DDR5 training, reprogramming, and other different boost behavior. But that's obviously not enough. But yeah, totally unexpected. I expected, like, surely this is 2% faster. I'm on one side building the Linux kernel with Clang, keeps our Clang toolchain tested, but if it's not faster, then that's obviously not very helpful. I wonder if we can Linux kernel GCC LTO. I believe 2022. I mean, maybe that is upstream in the meantime. Yes, 2022. The question is, because there are config options like that, right? There is LTO I thought there was. Maybe it's not showing. All right, maybe because it's LTO clang. Yeah, let's do that in another live stream. Obviously, I like so much you do some stuff and you get some unexpected result because I mean that's why we do this stuff, right? Because if we would only trust advertising, like basically open source advertising is also just advertising, right? If we write it's the most amazing Linux distribution, then of course you need to download it and try it for yourself. And similar to GCC and Clang, right? They wrote a decade ago, Clang is twice as fast, yeah, and posted no results since then because, spoiler alert, in the meantime Clang became 2 times slower. Or half as fast as stuff. So in the meantime, LLVM Clang are relatively the same speed, except Clang LTO needs twice as long. Also, this was otherwise not, GCC was not LTO, so that's not a fair comparison. So let's basically do that in another video for best views and more views and condensing that by a topic. But that's why we test things, why you should test things, why you should not trust each news in advertising, especially not in software, be it proprietary or open source. I hope you enjoyed and learned something, especially like the devil's in the detail, and so only replacement for testing is more testing. So only constant is change and regressions. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you soon, maybe even in 1 hour or whatever, to take a look if we can get Linux built with GCC LTO. The last time there was some binutils plugin marginality, which yeah, but that's another video. Have a good day. Hope you learned something, and see you next time. Like finally this live stream is over, 3 hours later or 4.